The tension in Boston could be felt from the moment the lights came on at TD Garden. The Celtics, stumbling through one of their most puzzling stretches of the season, are preparing for a desperate clash against a team just as wounded, the Washington Wizards. Both sides arrive shaken, searching for answers, but tonight, only one of them will find a way to breathe again. Before we dive into this chaotic showdown, hit the like button, subscribe, and click the hype button to stay ahead of every breaking Celtics update. The Wizards have fallen hard, dropping 5 straight games. Their defense, or what's left of it, has been a revolving door. Washington is allowing an average of 127 points per game, second worst in the entire NBA. It's all about defense, said rookie Bilal Coulibaly, trying to sound confident despite the frustration in his voice. Against New York, they looked promising in the first and last quarters, but in the middle? 76 points allowed in 2 frames. It's a pattern that defines their season: strong starts, weaker hearts. Coach Brian Keefe insists on growth, saying the group is learning, improving, but the scoreboard keeps telling a different story. Meanwhile, the Celtics are facing their own storm. 1 win and 3 losses at home, and the ghosts of TD Garden are whispering louder. Monday's game against Utah was supposed to be a statement win. Instead, Boston blew a 14-point lead and fell by just 2, 105-103. It was a collapse that exposed a deeper issue. The third quarter was brutal. 38 points allowed, while Boston looked like a team that simply forgot how to finish what it started. Our first half was great, said coach Joe Mazzulla. But in the third, they played harder. Transition defense, offensive rebounds, fouling, it all cost us. Shooting hasn't helped either. 11 makes in 51 attempts from beyond the arc, a miserable 21%. For the season, Boston stands at 31% from deep, only better than Indiana. That's not just a slump. It's a red flag for a team built around perimeter firepower. Yet, Payton Pritchard remains defiant. We're learning, he said. By the end of the season, we'll be better. That's a promise. Still, promises don't stop losing streaks. Jaylen Brown continues to lead Boston with over 26 points per game, but the supporting cast has yet to find rhythm. Derrick White, a key two-way player, is shooting barely 26% from 3. The Celtics know what's wrong. They just can't seem to fix it in time. We just gotta figure out a way to play 48 minutes, White admitted. Simple words, complicated execution. And now comes Washington, the perfect opponent to heal or to destroy. 2 teams cornered by inconsistency. 2 franchises that know defense is the key, but keep leaving the door open. The Wizards, desperate to prove they can defend again. The Celtics, desperate to prove they can win at home. So the question that hangs in the air tonight is this: when both teams are drowning, who finds the strength to swim first? Something has gone missing in Boston. The rhythm, the confidence, the fire that once turned every open look into a dagger. 8 games into the season, the Boston Celtics are staring at a strange reality. The very thing that used to define them has suddenly vanished. Their 3-point shot, once their signature weapon, has become their biggest problem. Just last year, Derrick White and Payton Pritchard were 2 of the most feared shooters in the entire NBA. Together, they helped Boston become a 3-point machine, ranking among the league's best in accuracy and volume. But this season, something has shifted. Pritchard is hitting just over 21% of his attempts from deep. White barely 26. Out of 178 qualified shooters, Pritchard ranks last. White sits near the bottom as well. It's a collapse that no one saw coming. The frustration is real. We keep missing them, White admitted after the 105-103 loss to Utah. They're good looks, they just don't go in. The numbers back him up. Nearly 89% of Boston's 3-pointers have been open or wide open, meaning defenders aren't the problem. The shots are there, but the touch is gone. The Celtics are converting just 27% of their open threes and 36% of their wide open ones. Last season, both marks were comfortably above 40%. It's not just a cold streak. It's an identity crisis. For years, Boston built its offense around spacing, ball movement, and trust in the 3-point line. Now, without Jayson Tatum's gravity to pull defenders away, those same shots come with more pressure, more hesitation, more doubt. Every miss feels heavier. Every brick echoes louder. Coach Joe Mazzulla keeps defending his guys. They're good looks, he says, pointing out how hard White and Pritchard play on defense and how much responsibility they carry with Tatum sidelined. But numbers tell a darker story. The Celtics now rank near the bottom of the league in field goal percentage, effective field goal percentage, and true shooting percentage. In other words, they're missing everything. And the worst part, These same players were once unstoppable. Just one season ago, Pritchard hit 40% from deep, White nearly 39, Hauser above 41. Boston didn't just lead the league in made threes, they terrified defenses with their volume and consistency. That version of the Celtics could erase any deficit with one hot stretch. That version hasn't shown up yet this year. Jaylen Brown summed it up best. "We just shot poorly. We had good looks. They didn't fall. But we've still got to find ways to win." His words sound calm, but the urgency is clear. Because if Boston can't rediscover its rhythm from deep, everything else starts to crumble. Now the question is simple but terrifying. When your entire system depends on the three-point shot, and it suddenly disappears, what happens next? Does Boston adapt and find a new way to win, or will their greatest strength turn into their biggest downfall? The mood in Boston is uneasy. The fans can feel it, the players can feel it, and the front office knows it better than anyone. After years of chasing banners and living at the top of the Eastern Conference, the Boston Celtics are suddenly facing a cold business reality. Every decision now feels heavier, every contract a new debate, and one name stands right in the middle of it all: Derrick White. According to reports, the veteran guard, a fan favorite and one of the hardest working players on the roster, has been identified as the team's most tradable asset. In simple terms, that means if Boston decides to make a move, he's the one that could bring the biggest return. And that possibility has the fan base holding its breath. White, now 31 years old, is in the first season of a 4-year contract worth $118 million. That number alone puts pressure on both him and the franchise. He's still in his prime, but the Celtics might not be. After the departures of Al Horford, Kristaps Porzingis, Drew Holiday, and Luke Kornet during the summer, Boston is no longer seen as a team pushing for another championship right now. They're adjusting, balancing budgets, and trying to build around a long-term plan. The reason behind this shift is simple. The new luxury tax system in the NBA has changed the game completely. Staying above the second tax apron means heavy penalties, lost flexibility, and almost no room to maneuver. Brad Stevens knows it. That's why he made those tough decisions and why trading Derrick White could be the next one. Because as painful as it sounds, his value on the market is enormous. Analysts believe he could fetch as many as 3 first-round picks if Boston pulls the trigger. 3 first-rounders for one of the most complete guards in the league. But is it really worth it? White has been struggling this season, shooting just 31% from the field and 26% from deep, but that doesn't tell the full story. He's also taking on a bigger role, carrying the load after Jayson Tatum's Achilles injury. And let's be clear, no trade happens without Tatum's blessing. He's the cornerstone. He's the franchise. If he believes that White is vital to Boston's system, the front office will have to listen. Still, every great team faces that brutal crossroad between emotion and strategy, between loyalty and the future, between the player that built your culture and the picks that might define your next era. Brad Stevens knows it's a gamble, but in the NBA, you either stay one step ahead or risk being left behind. So here's the question Boston has to answer. Do you trade your most reliable soldier to prepare for tomorrow, or do you keep him and fight to win today? If you want to keep following every twist and turn in this story, hit that like button, subscribe, and click the hype button, because what happens next in Boston could change everything.